I broke my tripod, so now I've got to hold this still while filming. And if you've seen my shorts, you know I'm not very good at that. So we're trying to brace thing here. $10 tripod. Should have spent 15. Anyway, who I am really doesn't matter. You can call me Billy. Downloads. Sony doesn't seem to understand why everybody's angry. And their shills in the reporting or journalism area doesn't seem to understand why either. And if I was them, I probably wouldn't understand either because they're businessmen first. And if any of them are gamers, it comes a distant fifth at least. Back in the day, the 1900s, okay, late 90s, I've got my PlayStation, got games on it. I've got my computer. I've bought games. I've got my discs that, they were burnt on CDs, the first ones. And this is the time we're talking about. DVD was a thing, but I couldn't run those games at that moment. So the old CD style is the ones I got. I mean, Night of the Old Republic came on 7 discs, 7 CDs. That's crazy, right? For how small of a game that feels now, it came on 7 CDs. And everybody knows the size of a CD is only 74 megabytes, so not not really a big thing. But still, it was on CD. Look at that, I'm turning red. It's 90 out here at 10 a.m. 9 a.m., sorry. Oh, 8 a.m. It's 90 at 8 a.m. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So I bought my PC games, I bought my PlayStation games, and then this thing came along that I'd signed up for a while ago because I bought one of their games, and it was Steam. I didn't know what that was, and I looked at it and it's like, oh, digital download, purchase and download games digitally, and I was like, that's interesting, and I was looking at it, and I bought some games, and then one of the times the license user agreement came up, and I saw that word license. I think it was license that got my attention. Either way, it got my attention. So I decided to read a little bit. And that's where I figured out in the 90s, that was already policy. You didn't own the game. Even though you had a disc, they still thought you didn't own it. And then when the digital came, they could put it in writing and you had to agree to it. So they got you. They really thought they got us. You signed it. You have to do what we say now. Nah, that's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. But let me tell you another thing how it worked, and we didn't really like it. I mean, there were people that were obviously jump right into it, but I wasn't. I didn't like the idea of not having physical media, but everything was physical media then. Download was a very rare thing unless you were stealing music, but still rare. And I was talking to somebody in a chat room, about it, and they were talking about how cool digital download was, and I said, problem is you don't own the games if you do. And they didn't know. They said, what do you mean you don't own it? I said, read it. You don't own the game. They can take it away. They can discontinue it anytime they want, remove it anytime they want. They didn't say they would come into your own device and remove it. That feels a little. Yeah, so moving on. We all know how that feels. They didn't know, and I thought that's odd. I thought I was just the slow one. And now you fast forward, what, 35 years? 30 years? Oh my God, 30 years? Yeah, 30 years. And still, and most people didn't know it up until a few years ago when things started going more and more and more and more and more digital. And the actual physical products started disappearing. And then you got a larger user base that thinks they own their stuff, but they really don't. And you've got to satisfy that. I don't know how you satisfy that without discs, without something tangible. Because there is a lot of us that will not buy digital only from the from the wrong people. Let me get that. There's things I'd rather have physical discs on, and there's things I don't mind anymore. Time has gone on, and I have seen that Steam is trustworthy. I've seen others come up, Epic, GOG, even some other stores. So there's plenty of places where you can go and buy games for a PC. Sorry, they're doing stuff outside. And you know, and sorry, people walking by and it gets me distracted. Steam was trustworthy. They haven't screwed anything else, screwed anything up. But let's go and talk about the other two guys. Okay, the other three companies, three companies involved. They're not their CEOs, they're not their general managers, they're not anything else. They are just companies. Stop giving them personalities. Said, did you name it? Anyway, I like physical media. I did buy the digital from Steam because they were trustworthy. I bought, and eventually I finally got to the point. I didn't start regularly buying games on a system until the PS4. I did buy a lot of games buy stuff on the PS3, but most of that is getting free stuff and whatever, or discounts, real big discounts. But on the PS4, I really worked it because I couldn't get out to buy discs. To buy the physical, I couldn't get out to do it. And some of them you couldn't even buy. So, download it is, as much as I do or don't like it, downloaded it. And I've got plenty of games that are downloaded on a PS4. Well, time went by from Steam, and then we get to a point to where PlayStation, got the PlayStation Network and everything else. PS3 is out, the Vita's out, and the Vita Go just came out. And I was like, that's cool. And it's download only. And I was like, okay, no big deal. Totally not thinking about the idea that they'd actually remove something from the store or shut down a store. That wasn't even in my mind at that time, that they would ever shut down a store. I know it's really stupid. Why would they keep something open forever, right? I didn't think of what the end game was, and the end game was just end everything and you can just move on. Oh, you bought a lot of games on your Vita and your Vita got wiped? Oh, sorry, we just don't offer downloads for those games anymore because we got rid of the store. So you just can't have those ever again because you just rented them. You didn't actually buy them from us. That was a rental, sir. But I bought that. I know that's a little rant right there before the actual incident, because I never actually downloaded any games on it. Because when I bought it, I got to get home and find out that some group hacked the PlayStation Store. So, okay, fine. I've got a digital download only device and a store that I can't log into. All right, give it a few days. I'm fine. Day goes by, 3 days go, 5 days, 7 days go by. That I have a brand new system that I think was discounted way deep at the time. It was like $150 for this thing. They were trying to get rid of them. And I said, screw it. I'm not doing this. And I took it back and I returned it. And I bought the standard type with the disc, and I bought a game, and I was playing it on the way home because I didn't drive. Mind you, I was still an adult this time. I'm still in my 20s, so we're not talking about a kid with his mother. We're talking more like a kid with his wife. So the wife drove home, and I played the video game. Ooh. But that's something I couldn't have done with the Go. So there was my first lesson. And meanwhile, I have stuff on Steam. They're still there. I could still download them. And it's a PC. Someone's selling it. I could still get it. I can still install it. That's what I want. Next thing that screws everything up to me, that convinces me not to trust them, Xbox wipes my PC account. Totally. And I have a gamer tag. The gamer tag's still there, but I have no gamer points or achievement or trophies or achievements or anything. I've got nothing. And I looked at the games that I own, and it said I didn't own any games. So I went to the Microsoft store where I bought Forza Motorsport 7, only to find out it's been removed from the store and is being deleted. So a $100 game I bought, I can't get at all. And oh, by the way, to prove ownership so I could download it for the last time at that moment, I couldn't prove ownership because the Microsoft Game Store had been deleted. So I couldn't show my purchase record because it was on the old system. So yeah, they didn't have the record that I owned the game by their own design. Why my gamer tag was wiped, I don't know, but I didn't bother getting into it with Microsoft Microsoft Xbox because I couldn't tell you what I had. Everything had been wiped. I couldn't show you anything. Also, my old laptop had died. It was unaccessible, totally dead. So I didn't even bother with Xbox, but I already felt that they were going full digital anyway because they went to the subscription service. So obviously they're going full digital. They just haven't set it up yet because someone else beat them to it and they're getting the heat. I know I've said this before, I'll say it again. They're all going digital. All of the consoles are going digital only. Two of them basically already have, and the other one said they're going to stop making discs to make them 100% digital too. So let's go to the third time. Now, I want to get to the third time. I don't trust them. Now, this one actually turned out well for now. I had to pawn my gaming systems so I had money to take care of my wife and I when I needed to get her. It was winter in a town that has winter. She had to be sleeping in a room, not in a vehicle. So I pawned all my gaming systems, all of them, and all of my games that I had at that moment with it, thinking I had digital backups of the games that I at least bought digitally and wiped. And I thought, well, at least I have those ones because there are quite a few of them. But I shut down my systems in 2020. And then COVID happened, moving happened. I had multiple surgeries. I was in somebody else's house. There was a whole bunch of crap going on. There's no way I was going to be playing games. And then suddenly I needed to get rid of them. But now, just last year, I saw somebody at a yard sale. They were selling a PS4 for $20. 25 if you bought the games with it, the 4 or 5 games. So I did. I mean, $20 for a PS4. Yeah. It was a slim. It wasn't a full. It was the slim, but still, and not a pro. I mean, $20. I, I I feel old because I was at a garage sale and I found a PS4 for $20. But come on, $20. So I go to log in. I forgot my account and I was trying to reactivate it because I couldn't remember what I did as far as waving in neighbors. Didn't remember what my password was. So I went through the system to get it recovered. And then it told me, no, maybe you should start a new account. This account will not be recovered. This is after I gave them all the information they asked for. I asked for your name, your blood type, a whole bunch of stuff. And then they asked for a receipt or some other proof. So I gave them the last receipt I had of something I purchased. I found it deep in my email. I'm glad I didn't clean it out, but it was deep in my email and I put it in there. And I gave them all that information and they denied it. They're like, nope. I was like, that's my uploaded game saves. That's my games. That's a lot of stuff I'm losing. That's 15 years of stuff on that system that I'm losing because of this. So after the digital system denies me, I'd call the number and I actually talk to a human. Now, we went through the whole thing and I kept asking why is it being denied? And finally, he looks through it all and he says, well, I don't know, maybe it's the receipt. Do you have a newer one? And it's like, that's the last thing I did on a PlayStation. No, that is the newest receipt. And after 10 minutes of being on hold and holding your breath, he finally came back and said they would reinstate the account. I know, woohoo. But it also sealed the deal in my mind. If I can get it physical, I'm getting it physical. Because I am not going to call someone again and beg them to give me my property back. It's my property. I paid for it. You want to call it yours and entertainment, mine? No, I paid you for it. Plain and simple. I paid you for something. You gave me a product and I'm going to use that product. The fact that I use that product for the next 20 years just shows that you had a good product and maybe you should make another one of those. Instead of figuring out another way to screw the customer or fleece the customer, raise the price, change the policies, remove stuff, move it around, make stuff harder so you can justify your changes. That's Xbox, that's PlayStation, that's Nintendo. The entertainment side is totally different. They got a lot of entertaining things and a lot of terrible things. But this is all business practice and how they treat their customer. Xbox doesn't care about you. PlayStation doesn't care about you. They care about your wallet. Rockstar loves your wallet because all of you just open it up and dump it on them anyways. I don't understand that, but you do it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to PC and I'm staying there. That's my choice. If you want to play in the digital market of Xbox, console, or whatever they're going to make next, Project Please Save Us, or Xbox or PlayStation wanting you to buy the PS Fleece Me. Let's see, yeah. Or You could buy the Nintendo, which they say we buy, you know, our customers, our target is children, our customers are parents, and they will pay what we want to pay because they're not going to disappoint the children. I know a lot of you are over the age of 16 and still play Nintendo. I do too. But it is a kid's toy, and they only care about that market. And if they're wise, they will continue to only care about that market because that is why they are still around. I think they're losing the plot just like the rest of them. We're not your enemy, we're your customer. Okay. I've been Billy today, so hey, tune in next time. We'll see what I do.